Well, what is good, YouTube? It's your boy Mario B coming at you guys today with a draft analysis for a new team we drafted actually for the Relic Region League. Pretty excited because it's the first team, not the first team, sorry, yeah, the first team that I've drafted since I played in the UBLN. The other teams, the other leagues I joined, like the LEUL and the PPL and the WPF, which I'm in right now, those teams are all picked up. I didn't really get to draft them. I only really drafted one team so far in my whole draft league playing format, I guess you guys can say. So I'm still getting kind of new to it. I have learned a lot, so I did decide to go ahead and draft this team here. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Locke, who actually helped me a lot with picking this team. Gave me some good picks, some good ideas. Also, big shout out to my boy Brad. He did also have some input in this draft as well. So this wasn't your basic kind of tiered draft. It was a points league, something a little different. I've only participated in one that was like that once before, and the league ended up falling through. So it was okay, but I do prefer the tiers a little better because points are kind of hard. But you guys can see the team that we have up above. Unfortunately, my boy Chimeco is kind of cut in half there, so you're gonna have to forgive me on that. But he is a 1 point mon, so we're not gonna worry about that boy right now. But anyways, starting off our pick, I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do. I was the 16th pick among 20 people, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, I knew I wanted to pick something kind of not too many points, because I think the highest mons were like 19 points with like Lando, Celesteela, Mega Mawile, stuff like that. But I actually saw Necrozma sitting there, so I took it first pick overall. This thing I've heard is a beast. I mean, I've never used it personally, not even like an RU Smogon, but I know this thing's a beast. I mean, if you look at its base stats, base 97 HP with 107 attack and 127 special attack, it's actually a very powerful mon, launching off hits with his powerful psychic stab. I really do enjoy setup psychic types a lot. I really enjoy like using Reuniclus, and Necrozma is soon to be my next favorite. I always want to draft Mew. I'm going to draft Mew pretty soon in the draft, but Necrozma here. And something that really makes Necrozma whole is prison armor right here, giving you that 3/4 damage from super effective attacks like U-turn, anything bug, anything dark. You don't take as much damage as you super effectively would, which makes this mon very viable when using things like weakness policy, because you take less damage from the hit. You get this with things, setup options like Autotomize. You get a +2 speed, and it just really helps you out. This thing has an insane move pool as well. It has access to Calm Mind, Dark Pulse, Earth Power, Earthquake, Flash Cannon, the Heat Wave, also for those annoying steel types, Iron Head, Knockoff, Moonlight. It has a reliable recovery in Moonlight, and Morning Sun. Probably going to be using Moonlight more. Power Gem as well, Psychic and Psyshock. Something that also makes this mon stand out opposed to others, its move Photon Geyser, which actually is if the physical user's attack is more than the special attacks, it ignores abilities. This also takes whatever one you have, whatever attack you have more EVs invested in, it'll actually use that to use its damage output. Hopefully that makes sense with that. The only thing that I say wouldn't be too good about this is starting my draft off at 79 here. That kind of sucked, kind of slow mon, but I mean, this does have access to things like Stealth Rock as well. It can be a setup, a Stealth Rocker for me on the team. Don't really want it to be, but that's also an option. It gets Signal Beam for coverage, Shadow Claw, and yeah, even Swords Dance, so, and Star Power. So this thing is it's pretty interesting. I'm really excited to use it. I haven't really like planned what I want to do with it yet, but I just know that I wanted to take this mon first before I went, because I never got an opportunity to do it. Going into my next pick, I did see that I kind of wanted something to help out, to take down the to help aid this in dark types. So something that really helps with all those dark types is going to be Sylveon. Not going to really care about him. Come in, take those physical attacks or those special attacks. Doesn't really matter. Can hit him back with the Hyper Voice. Also gives the team a Wish Passer, which is really good. Gets things. Looking at its HP stats, base 95 HP, 110 special attack, and 130 speed def. With the Pixelate ability, it turns normal type moves into fairy type moves, so you run Hyper Voice instead of Moonblast. Like I said, this thing is a reliable Wish Passer. It gets access to Heal Bell, which can really help your team get that status off of them. And yeah, this thing is just really good cleric for the team. Can set up those wishes, which is really gonna help the team. I really like drafting or picking up teams where I have a reliable Wish Passer, just because I feel that the ability to heal up half of your Mon's HP back up is pretty nice. So that's Sylveon there. After this, I kind of wanted something to patch up my poison weakness. I didn't want to get hit with the poison, so I'm trying to combine a lot of synergy here. Not too sure how well I did on it, but that's basically what I try to do. So I know this doesn't like Bug, and I know this didn't like poison types, which Magnezone actually helps out a lot with. This thing is going to be insane for trapping the steel types that Sylveon also doesn't want to deal with. So this helps out a lot with that. With things like Choice Specs or even Choice Scarf, this thing becomes a pretty viable Mon with its 130 special attack right here. The speed is a little unfortunate, but like I said, Scarf is definitely an option. So is Specs as well. Specs is going to be hitting us pretty hard. And the speed doesn't really matter too much when you're switching it on a steel type like Skarmory or Napoleon and trying to knock it out in return. So this is going to help a lot deal with these steel types that my team doesn't want to break down, and it's going to break them down for me. Magnezone, pretty self-explanatory. Gets Explosion, Flash Cannon as a stab, Volt Switch. Not too much of a great move pool, to be honest, but this does its job pretty well, which is getting rid of the steel types for the team. After that, I realized that my speed tiers were pretty sucky. I was at 79, 60, and then 60 again. It did give me an idea that Necrozma can also run Trick Room, so that's pretty viable. And this does get the ability at Analytic, which means that if you move second in the turn, your moves actually have more power coming out. So that's a pretty cool option. I can also run with this Psychic, Electric, Steel type. Another thing, I wanted to patch up my speed tier, so next I ended up going with another new Mon that I've never used. By the way, I've never used Magnezone or Necrozma. Sylveon I have used before in the league. I do love Sylveon, but Greninja is something I've never used before. Shiny Greninja right here. It is Torn, it's not Protein, but this thing's move pool is insane. With stuff like Extra Belt, you don't even need the Protein. You'll be hitting things hard with Dark Pulse, Extra Sensory, Grass Knot, Gunk Shot, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Ice Punch, Low Kick, Night Slash, Power Up Punch, Rock Slide, Shadow Sneak, Scald. It also gets Spikes and Toxic Spikes, which is also pretty cool. Gives us our first Toxic Spiker for the squad. Toxic Spikes are really good in Draft League format because if your opponent doesn't have a grounded poison type, especially in a league with 20 people, you're gonna get toxic, and you're gonna always get Toxic Spikes brought against you. So you really have to be ready for that. So that's what I feel Greninja is going to do for my squad. It's going to set up those Toxic Spikes. Can also U-turn. Also just a very powerful Mon. This is my Z-Mon as well, with as much coverage as this and really good speed at 122. It's really going to put in a lot of work for the team. I'm expecting it to get a lot of kills this season as either my late game sweeper or maybe my wall breaker. This thing does such a good job at breaking bulky things down. And yeah, that's pretty much Greninja here. Next, moving on to that, I wanted to patch up my speed tiers like I was saying, so I wasn't doing too much about the whole covering each other's weaknesses as much as I was just focusing on speed. As you can see, I did get a 122 speed Mon. Next, I ended up picking up a Tornadus here, rocking that 111 speed. The thing that interested me the most about this really was Prankster. The ability to Prankster defog is so important. I realized that with these 4 Mons I had drafted, I had no type of defog or removal at all. So that really had me thinking that I wanted to pick something up that I can rely on to get rid of rocks, so I don't have to deal with Mons like getting a I don't have to deal with opponents getting off that residual chip damage, that 12% every time I come in. So that's really annoying, but defog really patches that up, especially with Prankster. I can switch this in. Doesn't even matter my speed, I get the defog off most of the time. Bulk up is also an option, raising my attack and my defense up by 1. If you do look, the attack is 115, so it's nothing to play with, and this does get some pretty strong physical attacks like brick break, crunch, facade, foul play, hammer arm. It does get knockoff as well, gets return. It gets basically all the moves that Tornado's Styrian gets, to be honest. I think bulk up is the only difference, but this thing is just a beast. And if you guys watch my UBLN, I do love me some Tornadoes, so Tornado's Styrian is pretty cool. But like I said, this pretty much patched up my speed tier of 110, and also gave me that defogger for the team that I needed. Hurricane and Air Slash are no joke. Yeah, I mean, this mod is just pretty beast, and I feel that these two really are going to be helping a lot for the team. Next, at this point I hadn't drafted my Mega yet. I realized that my team kind of lacked power. It needs something to either break or sweep. I do have Greninja, and I wouldn't want so much bulkiness overshadowing my offensive, because I mean, don't get me wrong, Sylveon's bulky, but it can be offensive, and Magnezone is bulky as well and can be run offensively, and Necrozma of course can be run offensively. But the thing is, these serve different roles. This is to try my steel types, this is to take hits so that my Necrozma doesn't have to worry. Most of the time this can be used as a cleric to wish pass and do stuff like that. So I really need something that can break down walls, something that can hit pretty hard. So I went ahead and grabbed my boy Mega Pinsir right here. Amazing mod. At base 155 speed, this thing is going to be doing damage to anything and everything that comes in, especially if I get up a Swords Dance. If I get up a Swords Dance, most of the time you don't even need like attack investment in your attack. With Aerial Light, it turns everything into a flying type and gives you stab, so quick attack is definitely a thing. You can Swords Dance and sweep a lot of teams with just quick attack. Return also becomes a super powerful move, or even Frustration, whichever one you choose. At base 105, it did give me a base 100 mon as well, which I really liked, and like I said, I just needed a mon that was going to come in and wreck, and that's what Mega Pinsir is here to do. I do expect this guy to be like the kill leader of the league. Yeah, I need to give this guy a cool ass nickname. If you guys do have any cool nicknames too, by the way, feel free to leave them down below, please. I need cool nicknames, nifty nicknames, clever nicknames, funny nicknames, stupid nicknames, whatever you guys want to give me. Let me know. Oh, sorry about that. Let me know. We can definitely get that going. So Mega Pinsir here just provided really good wall breaker for the team. Really good. It provided me a sweeper for late game. Once I get everything chipped down, I just Swords Dance, quick attack everything, and pretty much knock it out. So that's pretty good. Next, I really wanted to focus on hazard removal and hazards as well, because at this point I do have Necrozma, but like I said, I don't want to use that as my stealth rocker. I do have Greninja to have these spikes, and that interests me a lot in the toxic spikes. I still wanted more. I wanted a reliable rocker and another form of removal, so I ended up grabbing Cloyster here. Now, although Cloyster is not the most reliable rapid spinner, it definitely can get rapid spins off. This thing is bulky as hell with its 180 defense. 50 HP is okay, but most of the time this thing's always living 2 hits. This thing is bulky as hell. At base 70 speed, it does lower my speed tier a little bit, but this thing does get rapid spin. It gets reliable setup and shell smash, which, if you guys don't know, lowers your defense and special defense by 1, and then raises your attack and special attack and speed by 2. So you set one of these up with the ability Skill Link. You get things like what is it, icicle crash? No, it's icicle spear. And then with Skill Link, you're hitting it 5 times, and most of the time after a shell smash, opponents' mons aren't taking too kindly to that. Rock Blast is another one of those annoying 2 to 5 times. With Skill Link, it hits 5 times, and it's just super powerful. Another thing this gave me was Spiker and a Toxic Spiker. Sorry if I feel like really stuttery today. I don't know why I keep kind of stuttering, but This is giving me the spikes and the toxic spiker, which helped a lot, and rapid spin. So although I didn't need Cloister, I really wanted to use it myself because I know this thing is a beast. I know this thing can take down a lot of mons. I've never used Cloister before. Really excited to start using him and see what he can do for the season. I'm really hoping he puts in a lot of work too. I hope he puts in a lot of work where it needs to be done, whether it's shell smashing the game, whether it's just setting up those spikes or toxic spikes I need, whether it's rapid spinning them away, whether it's exploding in something's face. I just hope that he can definitely help fulfill the role. Let's just look at a couple other moves that he has. He has like Ice Beam. He does have Ice Shard. Probably don't need that. Poison Jab. Yeah. And Shell Smash is probably its bread and butter here. So this is my 7th pick in the draft. At this point, I'm still not liking my hazard move because I'm thinking, okay, I have one of the megas that's gonna be taking almost 50% when he comes in if he's mega. So I need to have a lot of reliable defoggers or rapid spinners on my team. I need hazard removal. So next I decided to go off with one of my other favorite mons, Decidueye. Okay, so I've never used the Decidueye draft league format, but I did choose this as my starter for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon gameplay. I do love the Decidueye. I think the shiny looks so fucking sick. This mon just looks hella dope, and at base 107 attack, 100 special attack, this thing is nothing to play with. Nothing. This thing will put in the most work. It does get access to defog, like I was saying. It's also a haze mon, so it's very hard to set up on this because if you do run it with max HP with 75 defense or def, this thing can run an assault vest and be pretty bulky. This thing can be a good defensive wall to check other people's ground types, which I realized that my team didn't really have either. I didn't have a ground resist for Magnezone, which really kind of scared me a little bit, so I needed a grass type. This is also my spin blocker. Now that I think about it, this thing does get set up like Swords Dance, and with things like Leaf Blade and Brave Bird and reliable recovery and Roost, and sorry if you guys could hear that helicopter. Things like reliable recovery and Roost, and things like Shadow Claw and Shadow Sneak, and Spirit Shackle is actually the one that you want to use, and it traps the opponent from switching out. Priority and Sucker Punch, this thing is just a beast with Tailwind. It has a U-turn to get out of those sticky situations that it doesn't want to be in. Its ability, Long Reach, attacks don't make contact with the target. I'm not sure how much we're going to be using that, but this mon just provided a earthquake resist, ground resist. It also provided for the team another defogger, pretty reliable defogger as well. So that's the reason for picking up my boy right here. I was also thinking, so after this pick, I was thinking, man, I need something to take defensive hits. I need something that can set up rocks again for me, because I don't have a reliable stealth rocker yet. So I definitely wanted some options. I probably wanted like 3 stealth rockers, to be honest. The 2 spikers were really nice though. I do like spikes. I do like rocks. And like I said, in a draft with 20 people, not everyone is going to be able to get what they want to get. Not everyone is going to be able to get what they want to get. And defog is a big thing that some people do not stress or even like think about really that much. So I'm going to be trying to take advantage of that. And just have a bunch of defoggers and have 3 rockers. So I ended up picking up Dredagon. Dredagon provided that defensive wall that I wanted for the team with abilities like Rough Skin here, which is gonna lose 1/8 of their max HP once they hit me. Things like Sheer Force, it can hit pretty hard. Things like Mold Breaker, it also hits pretty hard. But I also wanted this for defensive with Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin. They're taking a lot of damage. This thing punishes things like Mega Beedrill that just want to U-turn around, Volt Switch turns, Volt Turn cores. This thing can run Mold Breaker, get up rocks on Xatu. This thing can ignore Levitate. It can hit things with Earthquake. This thing does have good moves too. It gets Aqua Tail, Crunch, Dragon Claw, which is hardly used, but Dragon Tail, you can phase things out. Earthquake, like I said. Fire Fang and Fire Punch. Flash Cannon. Glare, which is also a pretty popular set. People run Glare and just paralyze things because this does almost always live a hit. It's Iron Head, Night Slash, Pursuit, Roar, Rock Slide, Sludge Bomb, Stealth Rock, Sucker Punch, Surf, Taunt, Thunder Punch. Like, this guy gets all the elemental punches. He's a beast. Dredagon's gonna put in a lot of work for the squad. Yeah, just be a really reliable stealth walker. So that's pretty much this, and this did ended up rounding off my Dragon Fairy Steel Core. So I was pretty happy with that. I wanted a Dragon type just because of the offensive typing. I feel like it's really good, and it's pretty powerful with its base 120 attack. So nothing to play with. Like I said, I was trying to get some stealth walkers just to punish other people, so I ended up picking up Rhydon. He was pretty low tier. I had a couple points. I think I had 5 points left, and he was 4 points. So I was really looking at this. With 105 HP and 120 defense, it does give me another defensive wall because this thing can run a Violite, and this thing, you don't even need to run max defense, to be honest. At 339, if you multiply times 1.5, that's almost like 500 something. 500 defense is insane. This thing did give me another stealth rocker. Gave me like a electric immunity, but don't really need it too much, to be honest. But this did help my team not just get volt switched around on because I didn't have a ground type. So that really rang in my head too, because during the draft I was kind of thinking, should I just grab a ground type? I really wanted to grab Garchomp, but I have Garchomp for my WPF league, so I didn't want to double up on it. I like using new mons. I don't really like using the same type of mon, so that's pretty much why I picked up Rhydon. Let's look at a couple of his moves. It has like Aqua Tail, Avalanche, Body Slam, Brick Break, Crunch, Double Edge, Dragon Tail. Also phases out. Earthquake in its stab, Fire Blast, Fire Fang, Fire Punch. Has Ice Punch as well. Mega Horn, which can be pretty convenient for the dark types if I do end up needing it. Poison Jab, super cool. Rock Blast, Rock Polish, and Swords Dance can also be a thing too. So I mean, that can be a set coming some week with the Violet. It can be pretty bulky. Double Dance is nothing to play with at all. You can always hit someone with something they're not expecting, and it'll always catch them off guard. But yeah, that's pretty much right on here. Gonna be putting in some good work for the squad, and unfortunately my team is very slow. I do see that. My speed tiers kind of just jumped from like 120 to 110 to 105 to I think 70, or actually 79, right? Yeah, I mean, man, I'm gonna have to clean that up. Run Trick Room every week. But last mon that's unfortunately gonna get cut out right here in the corner is gonna be Chimecho. Y'all do not know. I don't know what league I have this in, what other league, but I think it's WPF. But this thing, actually I think it was PPL. We dropped that league though, but this thing is nothing to play with. You guys underestimate Chimecho, and I don't know why it's still at 1 point. It should be at least 2, because this thing be putting in work. You guys don't think it is, but this thing is bulky, man. At 75 HP and 90 speed def and 80 defense, it's pretty bulky. Not like super bulky, but it can definitely take hits, especially with Wish, Heal Bell, Defog. Give me another Defogger for the squad. This thing does everything. This thing is a beast. It gets Energy Ball, Extra Sensory, Grass Gnaw. It gets Knockoff as well. It gets both screens, Parish Song. Please do not sleep on Chimecho, guys. Please do not sleep on Chimecho. And I think that's gonna wrap up the draft analysis. Sorry if it was kind of sucky. Not too good at these things. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like down below. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, and if you guys are rooting for us, make sure to leave a comment. Also guys, leave a comment on nicknames. I need a couple, and my first week's battle should be going up this weekend, so I'm trying to get these names ASAP. But like I said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.